A blind Sydney man is furious with the Transport Minister after receiving a thoughtless letter. He'd suggested braille signs be installed at train stations, but that was rejected by David Campbell because finding the signs would be hard for vision impaired people, especially in the dark.
James Bennett is totally blind and a frequent rail commuter. He's lobbied for 2 years to get braille signs at stations to help blind passengers find their bearings if they get off at the wrong stop.
You get off at an unmanned platform, and how the heck do you identify where you are if you're totally blind?
It's worse now that the government's making more stations unstaffed.
If you're suddenly stranded in a strange place, totally unoriented, it's a really panic-filled situation.
So in April, Mr Bennett received a letter from Transport Minister David Campbell. It said signs couldn't be installed because stations have different layouts, which would be difficult for an individual with a vision disability when alighting from a train to locate, especially when travelling in the dark. The dark?
It doesn't matter whether it is night or day to a person who is totally blind.
Gross insensitive arrogance and another example of Labor's failure to focus on the needs of those using the rail system.
In Melbourne, rail authorities weren't concerned about what blind people could see in the dark. They installed braille signs at every station.
The cost of a braille and tactile sign would not be that great.
In a statement, the Transport Minister apologises for any offence about the blind seeing in the dark, and he was referring to people with partial sight. He says he'll phone Mr Bennett personally to discuss the signs. Louise Milligan, 7 News.